Some of the things I love most is actually meeting the other people that have joined and getting to hear their stories, and another thing I've loved is how we've all learned to celebrate our little wins, and it's made me realize it's okay to celebrate the small victories. It's not like you don't have to throw a giant party, but you should be able to cherish them and appreciate them. It's okay to celebrate making it to the gym. It's okay to celebrate actually drinking lots of water. It's good to celebrate when your body's digesting, when you've recovered, when you've gone to see your family, when
I appreciate the accountability of the Thrive Club, and I love the it's easily accessible, and it's a plethora of information, like the recipes, the meditations. It's a really good membership to have. I like the meditations while I'm driving, especially. I can just go to the playlist, play it, and on my way. Especially out here in New York, you need to just woosah.
It gives you a way to reflect, rejuvenate, and to rejoice. It exposes you to say, okay, even if the day wasn't so perfect, you have something to celebrate. There's a silver lining in it. It gives you a chance to see what you've worked on, and it gives you a chance to see what you may need to work on going forward. So it's definitely a mix of accountability and celebration. It's not simply one side or another. There's a nice balance to it. I mean, I like the check-ins, I like the group calls, because I feel like both of you have done a great job keeping us all engaged and accountable.
I don't know what month it was, but I was laying or sitting in our bedroom, and listening to Muji, and I'd been listening to him for months and months beforehand, but one of the things he said, and the body itself is just another form of consciousness, and somehow that snapped, and it took away my association of self with my body, and I saw from something that was just watching the body from a place uninvolved with it. It not from a place looking away from it, where there's a thinker, but even beyond my thinker, even beyond that presence of mind, there's a deeper presence, which is here now, which is what essentially, which is the quintessence of self. But before that, I had never seen from this place before, and it's beyond personal truth, right? It's beyond like, oh, this is my truth and your truth and their truth. This instantaneously, you see that there's no story in reality. Don't watch time. Keep the attention on yourself. Where am I seeing from? Going beyond the sensations and the feelings, not picking up any thoughts, simply looking and being still about it. Where am I seeing from? Surrounding the Bible, but it's basically man walking with Christ. Walking, and they're walking on the beach, so they're walking across some sand, and
leaving footprints as they walk.
Footprints behind them. There's two sets of footprints behind them, And through this walk, the man begins to, continue to take this walk with Christ, but also sort of relive things in his mind through his life story, right? And he's talking with Christ, and he was, and then this happened, and he started to notice that every time he was living through a challenge or some sort of hardship or a struggle, that when he looked back, he only saw one pair of footprints in the sand. He only saw one pair, and then when everything is going good, then he saw two pairs of footprints. And he had to ask him, Lord Christ, why, how come I was walking by myself when I was going through all of these challenges? And the Lord said, you were never by yourself. When you were going through struggles and challenges, I was carrying you.
That's when I was carrying you.
That's the footprints in the sand.
Yes. We are here, good people. We are here. We are ready. And we are breaking the cycle, the seemingly endless cycle of the start, stop habit that we all are very familiar with. And we're stopping how that makes us feel overwhelmed and anything else that contributes to a feeling of overwhelm. It is time, you guys, for today's special training, of course, and it's going to be on what we did to completely shift our trajectory into the direction of our deepest desires and become the most awesome versions of ourselves. Do you guys want to become the most awesome version of yourself? Let me know in the chat with a quick yes or no, because maybe that ain't for you, but I am all about the business of becoming the most awesome version of myself. So let me know if y'all want to become the most awesome version of yourself. And we're going to get this thing popping, man. We are going to get this thing rolling. Big welcome to you. Big, huge welcome. Big love to you. Thank you for being here. And let's go ahead and dive right in. So first off, I have a question. Do you struggle with being consistent when it comes to your holistic wellness practices, your routine, your self-care? Do you struggle with being consistent with that? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Maybe yes or no, something real quick. Maybe just a Y or an N. Just let me know. Let me know. Also, are you tired of lacking the motivation and feel like you struggle to maintain that wellness, especially when life throws you its surprise curveballs? Be honest with me. Be honest with me here. Are you tired and finished with lacking that motivation? Do you feel overwhelmed or stuck sometimes and just need help staying committed and focused on your goal, what I call your freedom intention? Because I tell you, I know how you feel. I've been there. I know exactly how that feels. Do you feel overwhelmed or stuck? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. Let me know. Have you ever done so well for a short while, but then you find yourself succumbing to those old habits and belief systems once again, basically as soon as you turn around? Those old habits and belief systems. We're going to call that OBS, that OBS. Have you been doing so well and then you turn around and it's like, oh man, I didn't even notice I was slipping backwards. You experienced that before? How about this one? Are you done, fed up, and ready to move on with trying to do everything all by yourself and just need a special kind of professional to help guide, support, and uplift you so that you can reach your greatest potential on your terms? Hey, y'all. My name is Soul Expression. It means expression of God's light. And I would like to tell you a little bit about why and how I learned that getting coached and being coachable and trusting the coaching that I was receiving and am receiving is so super duper important to me. Here's a little bit about my story. In my own journey to self-mastery, I tried to do everything myself, my way, on my time. And it was never successful. It was never successful. But because of the culture that I come from, the thinking that I used to cling to, and the feeling that I got from achieving small things my way, on my time, by myself, right? The little things that you can get away with some small things. That feeling that I got from achieving things in this way, it made me assume that a part of life and a part of manhood was learning how to do everything myself, my way, and on my time. That's what I thought. I thought a part of life and a part of being a man was to do things this way. And that when I failed at these things, at certain things that I would try to do, I was just learning how to be a man. That's what I used to believe. And I didn't graduate college because of this. Shout out to Morehouse. Trying to do everything my way instead of using the guidance that was provided both in the school and by the elders and peers around me that just knew better than me and knew a different way to go about things. I also did not become a huge successful artist because of this. I did, however, become a monster lyricist, a decent songwriter, as well as a pretty good performer. But I did not become a successful artist because, again, the wisdom and the guidance from those around me who knew things that I didn't know was not being used at all. Is anybody out there? Just let me know. Is there anybody out there that knows you could do better in the listening department? Because I'm telling you, I know that I should have been listening. Now that I am where I am, I know I should have been listening. But I was doing things my way, myself, on my time. Even when it comes to being a more spiritually centered person, I had to make a lot of different changes. At first, I was still exhibiting that same mindset and behavior, my way, by myself, on my time. And so I finally started to realize that this pattern in my life, this back and forth with myself, it just wasn't working. Everything I had a passion for was failing with this pattern, and things got hard. I didn't want the same fate for my spiritual path, and so when things started to get really tough and I started developing a deep-seated depression that manifested itself in a myriad of ways and expressed itself in a lot of hidden ways throughout my life, I knew that I had to find another way to go about things. But in the midst of it, I was broken. I was confused, learning over and over again that my need for control and lack of surrender was the actual cause of my failures in music and school and financial stability overall and all of that, despite my talents in many areas of artistry and coaching and bringing people together and doing things like this, despite all of these talents that I was blessed with, it was my own lack of surrender, my own need for control, and my own non-listening. And learning that time and time again, you could say learning that the hard way over and over, made me feel broken, man. I remember starting that same habitual pattern with my spirituality as well in the beginning, thinking that I had everything figured out and that I will get past all of these limitations with my own methods. But that's when things hit really hard and I began to lose myself. Let me tell you something about depression. Depression has a funny way of making you feel really empty inside as soon as you feel like doing something that will improve your situation. Can anybody relate? Can anybody relate to that? It has a funny, if you're just enjoying your day and being lazy and chatting it up with your friends, you have energy. But as soon as you get the idea to do something constructive, productive, or creative, your body is somehow filled with a force that works directly against whatever it is that you want to do. And this depression on top of this pattern of doing things, again, myself, my way, on my time, led to us losing our first and second apartment, facing homelessness both times, and me facing another manhood failure that I did not want to accept. You understand what I'm saying to y'all? And it got deep. But when we moved, essentially, with new spaces comes a new face, right? With a new space comes a new face. So I took a moment to decide once and for all that I was going to do things differently from now on. I was going to find that guidance. And you guessed it, I was going to trust it. I was going to listen. Okay? Now, I didn't want to turn to the familiar forms of guidance that were already around me, like my parents or my elders, because I felt at the time that it would just make me even more depressed, right? I would be facing the I told you so's and certain things that I wasn't ready for. But there were more sources of guidance and coaching and things out there. So that part was okay. And after some searching and some deep introspection, I found my coach. I found a really, really good coach. I call him my unofficial spiritual master. But he helped me throughout my whole life. It's just, it's pretty much a spiritual thing when it comes to me, myself, and my personality. So I call him my unofficial spiritual master. And through his words, through his pointings, I discovered self-inquiry. I discovered a new form of meditation. I discovered so many things, and I stuck to his words every single day. Even when it became hard to think, I stuck to his words. Even when it became hard to talk about to my family about the changes and struggles that I was facing, I stuck to his words. Even when it became hard to be a good husband to Tensi, right? Within my depressive cloud, I stuck to his words. Even when it became hard to trust his words, I stuck to his words. And I'm going to get into a really juicy example of this right here, right now. This is a part of my story that I call the end, because it's the end of something, but it's not the end of me. It all came to a head in the moments where I was pretty much ready to end it all and kill myself. When all of the depression and the bad feelings seemed to be coming to the surface simultaneously, all at the same time, and just getting heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier and just weight on my back, right? I couldn't talk about it because the feelings were not within a realm of words to be understood in that kind of talky way. I couldn't listen to music and dance and video game my way out of it because the way that I put it, the feelings were louder than my outside environment. And so when it got really, really bad and that depression, really took shape within my being and couldn't be ignored anymore, the feelings were louder than things that I would usually try to do to perk myself up. Does that make sense? Let me know. I couldn't even listen to the master's words anymore because they weren't changing what I thought needed to be changed. I spent my whole life thinking that when things changed in my favor around me, that gave me permission to change with them. Y'all hear me? That's what I used to think. When things change, that's when I can change with them. That gives me the permission. I thought that what had to change was like the feelings inside of me and some of the circumstances that governed, my bank account and my failures and things like that. I thought if those things changed, if the feelings would change, if the feelings would leave me alone, I would be allowed to make the changes within myself that I needed to be free. Does that make sense? That's what I thought. It's not true, but that's what I thought. But then I was exchanged. I learned on the day that I was really getting ready to call it off, to close the curtain, I learned on that day, and I can laugh now because it's light in my heart now. It's not very heavy now. But I learned on that day that if I make sufficient and effective and significant change within myself, the world would change for me and, in fact, act in my favor. I learned that on this day that I was going to end the story. And not only did I change, I was exchanged, and I learned surrender. Long story short, obviously, if I'm here talking to you, I did not take my own life, and I finally was able to surrender fully to my master's guidance. The super small details of what exactly happened inside my mind and emotional space at the time that I decided not to does not matter. I learned surrender to the coaching. That's what we taking home here. All right. That's what we taking home. If you understand that, then put in the chat, that's what I'm taking home. Okay. I learned surrender. Through this, not only did I beat the depression, but now all the other areas in my life that I have passion for and have had passion for years are slowly making new appearances in my life. I was recently asked to do a poem that I wrote myself, called it Mama Africa, for the Center of Global Africa event that was put together in connection with the African Union, which was broadcast to a bunch of different countries, including the US and a bunch of countries in Africa and some other places around the world. Tensi and I have been on the radio. I got to sell one of my sacred geometry art pieces for over $700, which was just great for me, right? It was just like it made my art feel important, my visual art, feel important. And earlier this year, we started an open mic series with the leader of the Soul Arts Collective in Austin, Texas, which has been amazing. My meditation series that I run, it's a small community, but an amazing group of people who are all dedicated to the truth. All of these areas of my life and more are now being affected by my new state. Now, this would not be possible, and I may not even be here today if I didn't stop that old pattern of my way, myself, on my time. I learned once and for all that for anything as important as my well-being, I needed coaching. And that's why I am now the mind mastery and meditation coach here at Ufulu Child. That's why I run the 2 free events every week in the form of the Friday morning meditations and the Empower Hours that we do on Wednesday nights, to become the coach that I wanted to see in my work, to become the change that I wanted to see in my work. And why am I saying all of this? Because many of you out there are also going to need coaching, okay? You're also going to need this thing. And with that being said, I'm going to actually turn things over to the other half of Ufulu Child, the other coach. Her name is Tensi. She's my lovely wife. She's amazing on all levels of humanity. And I want you to hear some of her story as well, to really set it in, because our stories are different and you can get something from both of them. So hear a little bit from Tensi about why coaching and being coached and being coachable is also important to her, and what she learned on her journey to becoming her own breakthrough.
Oh, hey, loves. This is Tensi. I'm not sure if you can see me or not, but I cannot see you in the chat anymore. But this is amazing. Thank you, Soul. Thank you so much. Yes, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story so that you can pull the gems that you need to get to that next level in your story, in your life, so that it can be so dripping and juicy with the fulfillment and enrichment and all the things that you're called to. That's my intention by telling you the story. So just to give you some background, I am what I affectionately call the unlikely accountant turned freedom lifestyle coach. I have a background in accounting, yes. Surprise, surprise. I have a professional accounting master degree from the top university for accounting in the nation and at the time in the world, the University of Texas at Austin. I am a certified Kemetic or ancient Egyptian yoga teacher, a certified Reiki energy healing practitioner, as well as co-founder of Ufulu Child. And through my work with Ufulu Child, I've been able to facilitate those healing life breakthroughs for our clients as well as for my own family. How this all started, as you may know, we experienced shortly after we met, literally 2 weeks after I met my husband's soul. My mom was diagnosed with diabetes. Well, no, she was diagnosed with cancer. She already had type 2 diabetes. And shortly thereafter, my dad also had a stroke. So we were dealing with some simultaneous family emergency healing that needed to be done. And through our work with my parents and the work that we now share with our clients, we were able to aid my mom in reversing her diabetes in 3 months, reversing her cancer, becoming cancer-free within 12 months. And my dad had a full recovery. He went from not being able to use the left side of his body, y'all, to being able to be fully functional and thriving. Now he's running, jumping, doing all things. And I couldn't be any more proud. So honestly speaking, becoming consistent in my wellness journey was definitely not always easy, okay? So it was all about the building and balancing for me. I really wanted to be able to build a home with my husband. I wanted to build a home with soul. And I was what you would, if you saw a picture of a busy working woman straight out of grad school, that was me. I was trying to balance that family time and be consistent in my wellness goals in a way that I didn't lose my mind per se. So in this journey, what I was struggling with at the end of the day was really junk food, like emotional eating, all of those things. I had eczema. I would have crazy breakouts just from stress. I would make myself sick. I was super anxious. Anytime somebody wanted to ask me to do something, if it wasn't at work, I would be like, I don't know. But I was getting stressed out to the point of having emotional breakdowns. And as you know, with any journey, looks can be deceiving. Like whenever it comes to your journey, you know that those rooms, whenever you, for example, you go into a house, right? And it looks spotless. It looks super clean until you open the drawers or you look in the closet or you look under the bed and you see all this trash and junk just everywhere. And that was my life. So my life was like this room or this house that looked super clean on the outside, but then you'd see if you really had your magnifying glass, like my life looked fine on paper, but I felt horrible. I was overwhelmed. I was burnt out and I was tired. Has anybody, please give me a shout one time. If you have ever felt these things, just let me know that I'm not alone, because I was struggling with this and it was something that I was trying to keep my life together, and it was hard. So I was struggling and frustrated with the fact that I was incredibly inconsistent. I had started all these wellness practices at the same time, and I and ended up stopping all of them. Like I stopped working out. I wasn't doing yoga. I wasn't meditating anymore. I wasn't drinking my water. I was eating greasy mac and cheese late at night, almost every night, or pizza or cheesecake or cupcakes or whatever it was. And I wasn't getting my rest. So I was feeling just run down and I'd basically given up. Okay. At the end of the day, I was really afraid. I was afraid that I was going to end up just like my parents. I was going to end up sick. And at the rate that I was going, it wouldn't have been too far off because, you know, I saw how somebody could turn from being vegetarian and still getting sick. And I thought that we were healthy. So it was like a left field bus done hit me. And the fear was intense. And I knew that I needed to change because my life depended on it. My future, my kids, me being able to be around for my family depended on me making the changes. But I knew I couldn't do it on my own. So on my journey, I was feeling really ashamed at this point because I wasn't able to stay consistent. I was feeling uncertain. And if you've ever felt that, just know that I'm here with you and I understand. But I knew that if I didn't do something, it was only going to get worse. So here's what I did. I went to Jamaica. I heard about this retreat by my master yogi, my master teacher, Yasira Hotep. And I got certified in Kemetic yoga. And for me, this was like the doorway. This was new knowledge, new possibilities. I learned about holistic wellness. I learned about the ancient practices and the way that everything is tied into each other, the energy body, the anatomy, the alignment, the raw foods and nutrition, how everything is so connected. And it shifted everything for me. And I was on a roll again, you guys. Like if you could have seen me, I was on a roll and I was back. I even had an accountability partner, I had a new community, and I was doing the thing, right? But if you have ever been on a roll, then you know that this next part is probably coming. I hit a wall. Like what happened in my journey is the roadblock. As soon as the weather wasn't sunny anymore, as soon as it got cold, as soon as I got busy with work, or my family needed me, or my friend needed me to do that instead, or my accountability partner stopped showing up, or my community all of a sudden didn't have the time to stay consistent with me, I found myself falling right back into my old BS. I found myself on that endless start and stop cycle that seems like it just keeps going on forever. And what it felt like I was stuck in quicksand. I was trying to pull myself up, trying to pull my family up, trying to pull my tribe up. But the more that I struggled, it was like the worse it got. And so what I realized, at the time, I hadn't done anything about it yet, but I was realizing that I was approaching this whole thing completely wrong. I was trying to be the player and the coach at the same time. I was trying to be the seeker and the guru, trying to be my own accountability partner and trying to tell myself what I need while also fighting against it. Have you ever, let me know in the chat if you have ever tried to be all of the roles and found yourself feeling like you're sinking in some quicksand. Okay? So one day, yes, let me know, because one day it just hit me, right? It hit me and I realized that I needed a coach, someone whose one job was to help me stay accountable and build self-sustaining, healthy habits. I needed a special kind of expert. Maybe, at this point of the story, you're probably thinking like, yo, Tensi, this is super obvious. But for some reason, it was not to me. Like I was the myself, my time, my thing kind of person. I was the solo achiever. If you identify, if you are the solo achiever, have been, let me know in the chat, okay? I needed somebody that could help me level up on all levels, leveling up my eating habits, nutrition according to what my body needed, modifying my workouts, and keeping my exercise routine fun and exciting. I needed somebody to help me safely cleanse my body from all of the gunk thoughts and gunk stuff in it without losing a ton of energy so I can still show up for my life, so I can still thrive. I needed somebody to help me make a healthy lifestyle that actually worked, fulfilling and sustainable long term. I needed somebody to help me stay accountable with what I said I was going to do and help me stay on track with my bigger goals. Somebody to help me stop falling off the wellness wagon again and again with those unhealthy habits that did not and never did serve me, to help me overcome the limiting mind, those perceived roadblocks, all those things with greater ease, to challenge me, empower me, to check in with me every day so I don't give up, I don't get bored, I can course correct and let them fears go, right? So who knew? After doing all of these programs, reading all these books, all these courses, and trying to like collect all this information so that I could be my own coach, it wasn't the programs that were the problem, because they were working for people. There were all these testimonials out there. So it was me. And I was like, okay, wow, really taking this in, it's really me. It was my lack of consistency, lack of understanding, lack of communication. It was my lack of expert guidance and accountability holding me back from my vision of a freedom lifestyle long term. And it was clear, like whenever I wasn't pouring into myself, I wasn't, and I could not at all show up for my family, show up for my clients, show up for my friends like I needed to. And that was really weighing on me. So what happened? I joined a challenge and I got a coach, all while I was still working, performing, and teaching yoga. Now, don't get me wrong. It was hard. There were times where I wanted to just give up. There were times where it just felt hard because I was just healing all of this stuff. And there was times where I didn't know if I could keep up. I didn't know if I could keep up, but I kept showing up and I was committed to my vision. If you're committed to your vision, that vision in your spirit, let me know. Say, I'm committed in the chat. Say, I'm committed. And with the help of my coach, I got my own breakthrough. In fact, it was faster. I needed the coaching to level up, and I was able to get to my goals with a greater speed. I was able to have those healthy habits be sustainable for me long term. And when I listened to my coach, I listened every day to get where I am today. In fact, I would not be the coach that I am right now if it weren't for my own coach and my own coaching experience. Okay. So finding the right coach, right? It's kind of hard. I mean, looking through Thumbtack and all those things, you might, come across some people, but you never really know what they're about. And it takes a long time. So after a year or so after the story that I just told you, Soul and I created an entire program that solely focuses on making the freedom lifestyle real and supporting you with, you guessed it. Can you guess if I'm gonna say it. Here we go. An emphasis on accountability. So we've been fine-tuning and perfecting it ever since. And also, we've had the insight on exactly what it looks like to get and maintain that next level with an expert freedom lifestyle coach. So here is, if you have not gotten your notes out, you need to get them out right now, okay? To get your pen, paper ready, because here's a quick checklist that you can follow when finding your own freedom lifestyle coach. If I knew this, y'all, here we go. Okay. So number one, write this down. Your coach should have firsthand experience in guiding others in holistic lifestyle choices, self-discovery, mind mastery, and yoga that will hold you accountable without judgment. So firsthand experience in these things and will hold you accountable without the judgment.
Number two, your coach needs to be trained and certified so that they can properly guide you and optimize your lifestyle transformation. Methods, techniques, and anything that you're using to get you
I couldn't hear point two.
Oh, can you hear that?
Sort of. The audio is going like low.
Okay, let me bring it up real quick. Thank you.
Oh, the microphone.
Check. Can you hear me?
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mic
Perfect.
just switched out of
Okay.
nowhere. Okay.
So let's recap that real quick.
Number two, your coach needs to be trained and certified so that they can properly guide and optimize your lifestyle transformation methods to get you beyond your plateaus and aid you in transcending your current state of mind and perceived roadblocks, and provide the needed modifications to your yoga, your workouts, your deep breathing exercises, your meditation practice, as well as aid you in maintaining a consistent regimen with your freedom lifestyle.
Yes. Number three, write this down. You should have daily access to your coach. You should be able to communicate daily with updates and struggles so you can be a team and find solutions quickly. So this is not waiting to address your concerns to course correct until the weekly session or until the monthly call. This is what I'm talking about is daily access.
Number four, your coach should be a coach who is using a progress tracking feedback system, some sort of system that tracks your progress. Feedback is crucial in allowing a coach to see the big picture of what your needs and goals and progress have been, what your needs and goals are, so that they can help you avoid backsliding into OBS, into those old habits and belief systems during your transition. And they need to keep you from falling off the wagon before you have even gotten minimal results.
So number five, find a coach who has created a milestone system for you. Like so many times, too many times, the biggest coaching pitfalls, like when it comes to coaches, is when they attempt to make you change everything at once. Like that is a train wreck waiting to happen. What comes from that is nothing but some overwhelming expectations. And you start to feel like you're in this thing that we call progress paralysis, where you just can't seem to move. Without a milestone system in place where there are levels of completion, you may feel like you've been splashed in the face with ice water and thrown into a cage to wrestle a lion with your bare hands at 3 a.m. in the morning before learning how to fight.
You don't want that.
You don't want that life.
And for the last tip, make sure you write this one down. This is probably the most important, even though to the mind it may feel like the most insignificant. Your coach must point you back to the truth every single time you start to slip, despite how things may seem in your life circumstance, your life situation, or your story. Despite how they may seem, your coach needs to point you back to the truth every single time and not be sugarcoaty about it, okay? Without this, they cannot help you. The freedom, the fulfillment, the consistency, the health and happiness that you and me seek can only arise from the inside out. And if we cling to the falsehoods, we will not be able to achieve that. Make sure
Yes, make sure you use this list. Like this checklist is something that
will help you on your search for finding the perfect expert freedom lifestyle coach for you. Definitely use this checklist. It's only 6 things. Real quick, I'm just going to recap them all at once, just so you know. Okay, so number 1, your coach to have firsthand experience in guiding others in holistic lifestyle choices and hold you accountable without judgment. Okay, number 2, your coach needs to be trained and certified so that they can help you properly. Okay, number 3, you should have daily access to your coach so you can find those solutions quickly. Number 4, find a coach who is using a progress tracking feedback system. Progress tracking feedback system. Okay, number 5, find a coach who has created a customized milestone system for you. Those milestones are so key. And then number 6, your coach must point you back to the truth of the moment every time you start to slip. So pointing you back to the truth beyond the story. Okay? Awesome. So now, when it comes to this checklist, this is something when you're looking for your coach, this is something that you want to do as soon as humanly possible, in my opinion, in my belief. If you would like to get a head start on your journey, this checklist is really powerful. If you don't get anything else, get this checklist, because it would have made my journey like 1,000 times easier if I had this at the beginning, right? This is serious stuff. So here we go.
Now, my big question to you is very simple. Do you want our help? That's my question. Do you want our help? You see, our Freedom Lifestyle Mastery Coaching Program takes you straight to the heart and soul of true wellness, and it's uniquely yours. Every session personalized and 100% about you, not your friend, not your child, not your partner, not your parents, not your boss, but you. What is most fitting for you, your personality type, your body type, your emotional habits? What fits together with you? That's what you get with our program. And we cover everything together. We consider every area of your life, your physical state, your wellness, your mental state, your emotions, your relationships, your beliefs about yourself and others, right? Your work life, etc., to help handcraft a living, organic, true freedom lifestyle for you to get your breakthroughs and to have lasting, holistic lifestyle results. And this is not an experience that you will find in a typical wellness class, program, or consultation, or even a retreat. Okay, this is a deep dive into exactly what you need. It's not even really about just the yoga or the plant-based diet or the workouts. It's about you becoming the you want to see in your world. And you get lasting results. Accountability with a freedom lifestyle coach is really the key to real lasting results. If you have the best practices possible, you still may not see lasting results. What does lasting mean? They don't go away. Right? And why wouldn't you see lasting results? Because when you try to do things all by yourself, it's usually the fact that your environment contributes heavily to the habits you already have. And so you're going to still be in that environment when you try to put all of these things together by yourself. And without solid accountability coaching from an expert that actually lives a freedom lifestyle in the present moment, and it fulfills that, he or she fulfills that checklist, then you are bound to one day be repeating the same past mistakes you've been making and continue the start-stop cycle because your environment hasn't really changed that much. And you just don't know what you don't know. And your coach knows. Okay, does that make sense? Let me know in the chat. This is why so many freedom seekers, just like you guys out there, find themselves slipping back into unhealthy habits every single time.
And so now I have another big question. Are you interested in how our system works? Are you maybe curious about how our coaching program works? Well, first of all, working one-on-one with a personal wellness results coach at Ufulu Child in the Freedom Lifestyle Mastery coaching program is like nothing you could ever imagine. We keep you motivated. If you're trying to optimize your health and wellness on your own, but can't seem to stay motivated and inspired and on the go and on fire on the inside, or to be consistent long-term, then what you need is a freedom lifestyle coach, because a freedom lifestyle coach enters your life for one reason and one reason alone: to guide you to your greatest potential. Does that make sense? Not to guide you to some fluffy, insert a bunch of spiritual words and rhetoric here image, but to your greatest potential in your own life. Okay? We deal in expert accountability coaching without the judgment. We do tailor-made customizations for you in all aspects of your life, depending on what your personal goals are, to fit who you are as a person. You have daily access to your coach through our program. In fact, 24 hours, 7 days a week access to your coach through our program, because we know how important that is. We got a progress tracking system that is super duper great, and everybody seems to love it so much. Of course, we also do the milestone mapping, where we take your big goals and we bring them down into bite-sized chunks to tell you and guide you through taking these big goals one step at a time, taking on these big goals one step at a time. And of course, working with somebody like me and Tensi, we are going to keep your eyes 100% on the truth of the moment, no matter what's going on in your life. And now some of you may be thinking, okay, but that just sounds like a really good friend. And I have some really good friends, and they got my back. Look, just listen to me for a second, okay? Yes, your friends and family, they care about you. They care very deeply about you. The fact is, they simply cannot offer the same kind and the same level of proven guidance and support and accountability consistently that our expert coaches can give you with our program. An accountability partner is not going to cut it this time, okay? You need a professional to help you with your health and wellness goals, someone who can be accountable to you while you're building your new habits, right? And enabling old habits and making excuses for why, we can restart next week. That's how all of this starts to become a hot mess. You have to get out of your own head. A consistent, healthy lifestyle is the answer to how you get out of your head. All you need is your own specific plan that's just right for you, and a little judgment-free expert support so that you can actually reach your greatest potential. And why shouldn't you? I mean, really, singers, dancers, athletes of all kinds, students of all kinds, actors, and even business owners know that it's easy to slip back into OBS, those old habits and belief systems, right? They know it's easy to start making excuses for themselves and start believing limiting thoughts, which is exactly why they hire coaches. The highest of the high is not the highest of the high, because they probably have 6 to 8 coaches no matter what they're doing. So why shouldn't you? If you look back on any big obstacles that you've overcome in your own life, chances are you didn't do it alone, right? Sometimes you just have to try something new to get somewhere you've never been. Now, don't ignore your chance. The funny thing is that we always think that our problem is so unique and that we are the only ones that will understand what we are going through. But when somebody comes along, when a little birdie comes along, and this person has already overcome and gone through the same sort of things that you're going through and more, and they're reaching out their hand to you, it is painful when we ignore the call. The big question is, Why should you keep on trying to do this on your own when it comes to your health and wellness? Why keep trying to do it on your own? The number one most important factor in determining your quality of life is your health and wellness. Why should you continue to try and master it on your own when all you need is someone that can help you update your nutrition for your personal dietary needs, adapt to a healthy lifestyle to make it sustainable for you in the long run, inspire and challenge you so that you won't get bored and quit midway through, adjust your workouts and movement routines to fit who you are and where your body is in the now, hold you accountable to your vision and your goals, be able to touch base with you on a daily basis to keep you on track, to keep you motivated, help you properly cleanse your body to promote self-healing, aid you in transcending your limiting beliefs and roadblocks, and point you to be your true self. Not know, but be your true self and live from where your real freedom resides. And now let's face it. If you put this off now, it may never happen. We all have habits, and the old stale habits, okay, are very hard to break no matter how much you may want to. This is just truth. I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but this is true. And in my own experience, I've realized that sometimes it takes some very tragic and sometimes traumatic life experiences to make even one tiny move in the right direction. Many people never really bounce back and end up losing hope along the way. Most never really experience true freedom that comes from within, that is here despite your circumstance, because we're too busy worrying and thinking about the past. But if you're here, then you are different from most people. All it takes is you reaching out. It only takes you reaching out your hand one more time, one bold move to jumpstart that breakthrough that has been building up in your soul for a long time. And let me tell you, when you experience being so rooted in your truth that you are fulfilled and satisfied in any circumstance, when you reach your greatest potential and finally start living your freedom lifestyle consistently, when you finally get your real breakthrough that you've been striving to get all of this time, you are going to say, wow, why didn't I do this before? What was I so afraid of in finding a good coach and listening to them? This is what you're going to say. This is something both me and Tensi have said. Wow. Now, if you're waiting on a magic wand to materialize and just poof, all of your problems away, I wouldn't hold your breath if I were you. Your time to do the work is right now. So I encourage you, apply today. Let's get started while we're still accepting new applications. Here's what you're going to get when you are accepted into the Freedom Lifestyle Mastery Coaching Program. Firstly, you're going to get 3 months of our level 1 coaching program. And don't let level 1 fool you. It is on point. One-on-one personal wellness results launch session. So we're going to do a launch call with you and establish what your goals are and how you're going to get there. Then from there, of course, just as any other personal wellness results program should have, we got our weekly one-on-one calls. And in between that, you have 24-hour, 7-day-a-week walkie-talkie access to your coach. We're going to do 3 monthly Victory Lap Create-Along sessions, unique implementation sessions that go directly towards the goals that you've set for yourself to make sure that you reach them by the end of the 3 months. In-depth goal and freedom intention mapping audit. That's when we're going to set up our goals along the way, the big goals, and then the milestone victory roadmap coaching session where we're going to milestone those things out, turn them into bite-sized chunks and get us on the way. 3 months of free unlimited yoga video library access through Yoga Green Book, which is full of, it's got hundreds, it may even have 1,000 or so yoga sessions as well as other helpful things, but it's mostly yoga sessions on there from all different styles of yoga. It's really, really great. You're going to love it. Also, obviously, we have our personal wellness results progress tracking system and feedback system, which has been working wonders in people's lives. Okay. Access to our private Freedom Tribe community and support accountability, our community that we're building so that people don't have to take this journey alone, as well as customized holistic lifestyle transformation game plan. And that's not all. If you can see in this box down here, we also got for all levels, for levels 2 and 3 as well, but those are yearly. But for all the levels, you get unlimited lifetime access to the Freedom Lifestyle Mastery Thrive Club, which is over a $14,000 value. You get that for life. You don't pay a monthly fee for that at all. It's just yours. And that comes with all the tools. I'm going to break down the tools that are included in that on the next slide. But you get that. You get lifetime access to that. Okay. Also, you get the free breakthrough bundle, which is your Freedom Seeker Gets Results t-shirt, your I Am Freedom Seeker Manifesto water bottle. This is a water vessel that has the Freedom Seeker Manifesto on it. You get a 90-meal supply of the herb mix and a Freedom Seeker Manifesto sticker that you can stick on your laptop or your wall or wherever you need it, because you are about that life and you know that those affirming words are going to do wonders in your life. Now, when I said I'm going to explain exactly what's in that Freedom Lifestyle Mastery Thrive Club, here it is. Here it is. With the ultimate Freedom Lifestyle Mastery Thrive Club membership access that you are going to have for life. You get the 7-week Freedom Lifestyle Masterclass, a $2,000 value, the monthly motivation and accountability group coaching calls that are separate from your one-on-one coaching calls at a $5,000 value, the Freedom Lifestyle Starter Kit, which is a $500 value, the ultimate limiting belief transformation blueprint that is going to greatly aid anything that you're trying to do where the mind gets in the way, at $500 value, the on-the-go or in-the-home Power Pack bundle of $1,400 value, live Freedom Lifestyle create-along virtual implementation sessions, which are separate from your individual coaching, victory lap sessions. Okay, and those video replays at a $2,000, $2,300 value, the Meditation of the Heart archive, the Fuel plant-based recipe database, plus the interactive grocery list, your Move at-home workouts. Okay, many more workouts than what we're going to be able to do for you live during this challenge. There's a bunch more in there, as well as the exclusive Freedom Tribe that I mentioned earlier, private video, priority video and email support. You also get member discounts every time you want to get the herb mix. There's some discounts applied to it just because you're in the Thrive Club. And this is for life, y'all. This is for life, 15% off or whatever the percentage is at the time that you want to purchase, as well as the one-on-one monthly check-in calls with Coach Tensi. And you getting this for life, you guys. So the last thing that I want to add on here real quick that you're also going to get is you get to keep all of the trainings from this challenge forever. Okay, this will be included in your membership portal when you join the coaching program, when you're accepted into the coaching program. You get to keep all of the challenge trainings. You get to revisit what you may have missed or what you want to experience again as much as you need. You can redo all of the challenges and continue to track your weekly score even after the challenge is complete, as many times as it takes for you to really set in your new lifestyle habits. You get to keep yourself inspired and motivated with the content that you get from this challenge that you won't find anywhere else. Trust me, I've looked, but here, and you get to keep it forever. What does that mean for you? You get to pass on what you learn here to the next generation. You get to be the change. Now, I have to tell you, act now. There are only 7 seats up for grabs for this amazing opportunity. If you're ready, make your reservation and secure your spot as soon as humanly possible. Okay, there are only 2 highly qualified Freedom Lifestyle Mastery coaches in the Freedom Lifestyle Mastery coaching program. That is myself and Tensi. And we devote all of our time to every single client. Why? It's the best way to ensure that our program actually delivers and serves our clients' needs at the highest level. But at the same time, it also means that we have to be very selective and limit the number of clients that we can work with at a given time. Right now, there are 7 seats available, and there are payment plans available. So don't wait. Go to ufuluchild.com/apply as soon as humanly possible. Get your application submitted so that we can consider you for this Freedom Lifestyle Mastery coaching program. You have nothing to lose. Apply now. There is nothing in this world that could be better, a better investment than one that's in yourself. Again, there is nothing in this world that could be a better investment than the one in yourself. Okay? And tell us a little bit about yourself when you apply. There's some free space for that. I will see you guys on the other side. Tensi will see you guys on the other side. Had a blast doing this presentation with and for you today. I hope you really enjoyed yourself. And I just want to say that if you are interested, the time is now to act. Do not wait. Go to ufuluchild.com/apply right now. Open it up in another tab while I'm still talking so you don't miss your opportunity, or take a screenshot if you must. ufuluchild.com/apply. I love you all, and I'll see you on the other side. Peace.